Most people don't realize this, but money isn't responding to your effort, it's responding to your energy. And that's exactly why so many hardworking, intelligent, motivated people stay stuck, watching others with half their discipline somehow become magnets for wealth. It sounds unfair, almost irritating, until you understand the truth. Money doesn't follow logic, money follows frequency. The physical world is just the last stage of manifestation. By the time cash hits your hands, the real work already happened in the field. And here's the controversial part, you don't attract money by wanting it. In fact, the harder you want it, the more you push it away. Desire creates tension. Identity creates magnetism. That's why people say they believe in abundance but secretly vibrate fear, and money reads the vibration, not the voice. The good news? The moment you shift your energy, money starts moving toward you so fast it feels almost supernatural. Imagine becoming the kind of person whose presence alone activates opportunities. Clients reach out first, ideas flow effortlessly, unexpected income lands in your lap, and you can actually feel the field rearranging itself in your favor. That's not fantasy, it's physics. And once your energy stabilizes in the frequency of abundance, you'll notice something wild. Money doesn't just show up, it begins to look for you. He often tells people that money isn't a pile of paper but a money field, a living vibration that shifts long before any number shows up in a bank account. And honestly, once someone feels this, it hits like a plot twist in their own story. Instead of chasing cash, they start noticing the energetic field of wealth moving around them, whispering possibilities. It's as if the material world is just a delayed echo of what's already pulsing in their internal space. That's why those who obsess over physical results usually miss the real game happening beneath the surface, where the abundance signal first sparks into form. He likes to explain it with a simple image. Imagine money is a radio station broadcasting 24/7, and only those tuned to its wealth frequency can hear it clearly. When someone is misaligned, all they get is static, confusion, stress, or "why isn't this working?" vibes. But when they shift into vibrational alignment, something funny happens. Opportunities they once overlooked suddenly stand out like neon signs. They begin to realize the money magnet energy isn't something they create, it's something they tune into, refine, and embody. He's seen people force action for years, pushing and grinding, only to wonder why results feel painfully slow. But the truth is, action without the right frequency is like rowing a boat with no water beneath it, lots of effort, zero movement. The inner field must thicken first, become more coherent, more intentional, more alive. When the financial attraction becomes real inside someone's energy system, outer results stop resisting. That's when they finally understand that money responds to who they are, not what they do. One of his favorite examples is a student who spent months hustling but stayed stuck. Only when she began journaling daily with a focus on gratitude and relaxed awareness, small but consistent micro shifts, did her abundance energy stabilize. Suddenly clients started reaching out to her out of nowhere. She hadn't changed her marketing, she had changed her frequency. The world simply synced up with her renewed energetic magnetism, proving again that the field moves first and the physical follows. He always emphasizes that this energetic field isn't mystical, it's mechanical. Just like a seed contains the blueprint of a tree, the internal high-frequency wealth state contains the blueprint of future outcomes. When someone walks around vibrating scarcity, the field collapses. But when they hold even a flicker of certainty, a grounded sense of possibility, their field expands. And that expansion becomes the birthplace of every new financial reality. Money feels it. Life feels it. Doors open. And here's the twist that shocks many: money doesn't enter a field because someone wants it. Desire alone is too thin, too fragile. Money enters when the field becomes stable enough to hold it. When someone begins acting, thinking, and feeling like a person who naturally attracts money, the universe reads that signal as truth. He teaches his students to practice small identity shifts, like speaking with confidence, organizing finances, or making decisions quickly, because every micro-action reinforces a stronger vibrational identity. What fascinates him most is how quickly things shift once a person commits to seeing money as energy rather than matter. The internal world stops being a battlefield and becomes a control panel. With each intentional breath, each elevated thought, each grounded choice, they strengthen their money flow and refine the energetic coherence that wealth responds to. And, almost imperceptibly, the field begins preparing them for the next revelation, one they can sense rising just beneath the surface, ready to unfold in the very next topic. He often says that money behaves like a sensitive guest, it feels the room before it enters. If someone's internal state is chaotic, fearful, or tense, the money field senses it immediately and hesitates. That's why people claim they do everything right, but still can't attract money. Their actions scream, "I want wealth," but their energy whispers, "I'm not safe with wealth." And money listens more to the whisper than to the scream. The energetic field of wealth reads emotional truth, not verbal intention. When someone shifts their emotional baseline, even slightly, the whole field rearranges. A person vibrating impatience or desperation pushes opportunities away without realizing it. But someone anchored in calm certainty naturally emits a stronger abundance signal, and opportunities tend to glide toward them effortlessly. It's like the universe picks up on their inner steadiness and says, "All right, you're ready for more." That internal shift becomes the doorway to financial attraction, long before any strategy kicks in. He teaches that emotions are not random, they're dials that tune someone's wealth frequency. When the dial is set to gratitude, clarity, and self-worth, the money magnet energy strengthens. When set to fear or urgency, the signal gets scrambled. People think their thoughts create reality, but he insists it's their emotional tone, the background music of their life, that shapes the vibrational alignment with money. Change the music, and the entire movie changes too. There was once a mentor of his who used a fascinating exercise. For 1 week, students were told to intentionally walk, speak, and breathe as if they already embodied high-frequency wealth. Nothing dramatic, just subtle posture shifts, slower breathing, more deliberate choices. The results were wild. Some received unexpected payments, others closed old debts, and a few found work opportunities out of nowhere. Yet he always says, nothing came out of nowhere, the students simply matched the vibration of what was already trying to reach them. He often compares emotions to the weather of the spirit. When someone's inner world is stormy, the money flow becomes turbulent, unpredictable, and limited. But on days when they feel grounded, calm, and hopeful, the energetic coherence strengthens, almost like the skies clearing. Money prefers clear skies. Money prefers stability. And when it senses that inner clarity, it gravitates toward the field with noticeable speed. Emotional stability becomes the lighthouse guiding wealth to shore. And here's the kicker, the nervous system always tells the truth. Someone can smile, affirm, visualize, but if their body is tight, anxious, or holding old scarcity patterns, the field won't lie for them. That's why he encourages simple grounding rituals, 5 deep breaths before checking finances, short walks after stressful moments, or writing down one small win each night. These micro-practices recalibrate the inner atmosphere, strengthening a person's energetic magnetism more than any external hustle ever could. Once people realize their internal landscape dictates how money responds, everything changes. They stop trying to overpower life with effort and begin shaping life from the inside out. And as their emotional terrain shifts, they start sensing something else, an emerging power, subtle yet unmistakable. A deeper truth waiting to unfold in the next topic, where desire and identity quietly battle for control of the entire family of abundance energy. He loves to remind his students that desire is loud, but identity is powerful. Wanting wealth creates a tiny spark in the money field, but being someone who naturally holds wealth lights up the entire sky. Desire says, "I wish." Identity says, "I am." And the energetic field of wealth responds only to the second voice. That's why someone can crave abundance for years yet see nothing change. Desire alone doesn't shift the abundance signal that money listens to. Most people don't realize that desire often vibrates as lack. When someone says, "I want more money," they're quietly admitting, "I don't have enough." The field amplifies that absence. But when someone embodies a vibrational identity aligned with prosperity, steady, confident, receptive, their signal strengthens instantly. Money can feel the difference. The universe can feel the difference. And that shift turns weak longing into genuine financial attraction almost overnight. He often uses the analogy of a lighthouse. Desire is the light flickering inconsistently, identity is the light burning non-stop. A flicker won't guide ships to shore, but a steady beam always will. People with stable wealth frequency emit that steady beam effortlessly. They make decisions quickly, trust themselves deeply, and move through life with a sense of quiet certainty. This inner steadiness amplifies their money magnet energy far more than positive thoughts ever could. To help students embody this shift, he gives a surprisingly simple exercise. Each morning, choose one small behavior that a wealthy version of yourself would naturally do. Maybe organizing your workspace, investing a tiny amount, speaking with grounded confidence, or improving your financial literacy with one page of a book like The Psychology of Money. These micro-actions rewire identity and strengthen energetic coherence, proving that transformation happens in the subtle daily choices, not in dramatic manifestations. He explains that identity carries a frequency, a texture, a tone, that radiates into the money flow. A person who identifies as broke, even jokingly, leaks energy. A person who identifies as resourceful and expanding, generates momentum. Money leans towards certainty, just like water follows gravity. When someone's identity aligns with abundance, their energetic magnetism becomes unmistakable. They walk into rooms differently. They perceive opportunities differently. Life rearranges around their new center of gravity. Desire, on the other hand, is unstable. One day someone feels fired up, the next, discouraged. That instability weakens the high-frequency wealth signal, making money unsure whether it's being invited in or pushed away. But identity is consistent even when emotions wobble. He teaches that the goal is not to feel rich, but to be the type of person whose energy holds richness. When that identity settles into the nervous system, the field around it grows thicker, stronger, more magnetic. And the moment someone truly embodies wealth, not pretends, not hopes, but embodies, everything around them begins to shift in subtle, almost mystical ways. People treat them differently. Opportunities appear without force. Life responds as if it's been waiting for this alignment all along. And just when they think they understand the depth of identity work, he leads them toward a deeper layer, where the body itself becomes the antenna for decoding and amplifying every signal in the realm of abundance. He often says that the nervous system is the hidden architect behind someone's entire relationship with money. While the mind imagines abundance, it's the body that decides whether that abundance can actually enter. If the nervous system is tight, overwhelmed, or carrying old scarcity patterns, the money field reads that tension as a "do not enter" sign. But when the body feels spacious and regulated, the energetic field of wealth becomes naturally more receptive, almost as if money can finally sense a safe landing place. Think of the nervous system as the antenna broadcasting your wealth frequency into the world. When someone is calm, grounded, and open, their signal becomes clear and strong. When they're anxious or overstimulated, the signal gets choppy, and opportunities slip through. That's why two people can take the same action, launch a product, apply for a job, pitch a client, but only one experiences financial attraction. Their actions are the same, but their frequency isn't. Their bodies are telling two completely different stories to the field. He loves showing students how physical regulation changes everything. He'll guide them through a simple breathing pattern, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, and within minutes their money magnet energy feels stronger, more coherent. Their faces soften, their voices deepen, and their decisions become grounded instead of reactive. This isn't magic, it's biology. A calm nervous system enhances energetic coherence, allowing money to approach without resistance. The body becomes the instrument, and the field begins to harmonize around it. One of his favorite examples comes from a student who used somatic grounding before every financial action. Before checking her bank account, she'd place a hand on her chest, breathe deeply, and visualize her field expanding. Within 2 months, she reported her abundance energy feeling wider, her income increasing, and her financial anxiety dissolving. She didn't change her job, marketing, or pricing. She changed her signal. The world simply reacted to her upgraded vibrational alignment. He teaches that the body stores energetic imprints from past experiences, especially around money. Childhood scarcity, financial trauma, rushed decisions, or shame-based memories leave energetic dents in the system. These dents distort the abundance signal until someone consciously repairs them. Through grounding, stretching, mindful movement, and emotional awareness, those dents smooth out. Suddenly the person isn't fighting their nervous system anymore, they're partnering with it, letting it amplify their energetic magnetism. Imagine walking into an opportunity with a tight chest, fast heartbeat, and shallow breath. Even if you say the right words, the field broadcasts fear. But walk into the same opportunity with a relaxed spine and grounded presence, and you emit the frequency of someone who can hold and multiply wealth. That's the level of high-frequency wealth that money gravitates toward. Regulation becomes the doorway to receiving, because a regulated body can hold more energy, and wealth is energy. As students learn to tune their nervous system like an antenna, they begin sensing a deeper layer of power within themselves. Their bodies no longer sabotage the signal, they enhance it. Their actions begin flowing with more clarity, intuition, and purpose. And right when they realize the body can amplify wealth, they start noticing another truth rising quietly beneath the surface: emotional alignment isn't optional. It's the next essential piece of the puzzle that shapes the entire money flow from the inside out. He often tells his students that emotional coherence is the click that locks someone into true vibrational alignment. When their thoughts say one thing, their emotions another, and their actions something else entirely, the money field receives a scrambled message. But the moment these three elements harmonize, when emotion, intention, and behavior match, the entire energetic field of wealth stabilizes. Money doesn't just drift in, it flows in with direction and ease, like water finding a clear channel. Most people try to attract abundance while feeling the exact opposite of abundance. They affirm wealth but feel fear, they visualize success but embody doubt. This emotional mismatch weakens the abundance signal, sending static into the field. But when someone tunes their emotional tone to calm certainty, everything shifts. Their body relaxes, their decisions clarify, and their money magnet energy strengthens. The coherence they generate becomes the architecture of their new financial reality. He likes to say coherence feels like an inner yes. It's a sensation of alignment where nothing inside argues with the vision anymore. Take a simple example: a person who decides to start charging what they're worth. If their emotions match the decision, confidence, groundedness, acceptance, the universe reflects that alignment almost instantly. But if they act while feeling guilt or doubt, the money flow stutters. The field doesn't reward action alone, it rewards emotional resonance behind the action. One of his students practiced emotional coherence through a daily ritual he calls energetic syncing. Every morning she sat for 3 minutes, identified one emotion blocking her abundance, fear, shame, urgency, and breathed into it until it softened. Then she intentionally amplified gratitude or confidence until her emotional state matched the version of herself she wanted to embody. Within weeks, her financial attraction skyrocketed. Not because she worked harder, but because her signal finally became clear. He teaches that emotions carry weight in the field. Heavy emotions slow down energy, making the wealth frequency dense and sluggish. Lighter emotions, clarity, trust, appreciation, make the field more spacious, allowing opportunities to move in freely. Emotional coherence doesn't mean suppressing feelings, it means acknowledging them and realigning with intention. When done consistently, the entire energetic magnetism of a person expands, often in ways they can feel physically. What fascinates him is how quickly coherence impacts behavior. A coherent person takes better risks, communicates more authentically, and navigates challenges without collapsing. They become the type of individual who naturally emits high-frequency wealth, even in uncomfortable moments. And because money responds to energetic truth, not emotional chaos, coherence acts like a beacon that directs abundance right into their field. And just when students settle into this new emotional clarity, he gently reminds them that coherence isn't enough if interference is still sabotaging the signal. Beneath even the clearest emotional state, micro-patterns can disrupt the frequency, tiny internal glitches that distort the flow of abundance. And it's exactly these hidden interferences that unveil themselves in the next topic, waiting to be dissolved so the field can expand even further. He often explains that energetic interference is like static on the radio of the money field. Even if someone is broadcasting the right intention, tiny emotional micro-glitches distort the signal. These glitches can be so subtle: hesitation, self-doubt, guilt about wanting money, or even inherited beliefs about wealth, that people don't notice them. But the energetic field of wealth notices instantly. Money simply avoids fields that feel confused or inconsistent, just like a bird avoids landing on unstable branches. He tells his students to think of these interferences as invisible frictions. Every time someone says, "I want abundance," while secretly fearing responsibility, the signal weakens. Every time someone takes a step toward wealth but internally whispers, "This might not work," the abundance signal fractures a little. It's never the big doubts that block wealth, it's the tiny, repetitive ones. The ones that erode energetic coherence and chip away at their ability to sustain money magnet energy. One of the most common forms of interference is emotional incongruence. A person may speak confidently, but their body tightens when money enters the conversation. That subtle contraction broadcasts a message of scarcity into the wealth frequency, even if the mind is saying something different. Money responds to the body's truth, not the mind's performance. When students discover this, they often feel relief, because now they know exactly what to fix instead of feeling cursed or unlucky. He shares a practical strategy: name the interference the moment it appears. If someone notices a micro-belief like, "I don't deserve this," or "I'm not ready," they should pause, breathe, and replace it with a gentler truth: "I'm learning to receive," or "I can hold more each day." This small shift calms the nervous system and strengthens vibrational alignment. Over time, the interferences shrink and the money flow becomes smoother, as if the field finally has room to move freely. Another form of interference is inherited scarcity, beliefs absorbed from parents, culture, or past experiences. These beliefs operate like old software running in the background, pulling someone away from financial attraction even while they consciously try to move forward. He often encourages students to journal about the financial messages they heard growing up. This awareness alone dissolves half of the interference, allowing their energetic magnetism to expand again. He likes to remind them that interference isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign that the field is reorganizing. Every interference brought to awareness becomes an opportunity to strengthen identity, deepen safety, and elevate abundance energy. Removing interference doesn't just clear the signal, it raises the overall high-frequency wealth vibration, making abundance more stable and predictable. A cleaner field equals clearer manifestations. As students begin clearing these micro-blocks, they start noticing a shift not just in their energy, but in how abundance feels inside their bodies. There's a new spaciousness, a soft expansion, a quiet confidence rising beneath the surface. And that experience becomes the bridge to the next topic, where the internal qualities of true abundance reveal themselves like a hidden language written inside the field. He often tells his students that abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you feel first. Before money enters the physical world, it announces itself inside the money field as a shift in inner texture. It feels like calm confidence, a kind of quiet spaciousness that settles into the body. When someone taps into this sensation, they're not imagining wealth, they're tuning into the energetic field of wealth that already exists around them. This sensation becomes the blueprint for vibrational alignment, long before any financial result appears. He describes abundance as a soft expansion behind the ribs, almost like the body is exhaling after years of holding tension. It's the absence of urgency, the dissolution of internal rush, the moment when someone realizes they no longer need to force outcomes. This internal spaciousness strengthens their abundance energy, making the signal they emit clearer and more magnetic. Opportunities can finally recognize their field. People often say, "I don't know why, but everything feels easier." That's how financial attraction starts. Another feeling of abundance is emotional certainty. It's not loud, and it's not dramatic, it's steady, grounded, and quietly powerful. Even if the bank balance hasn't changed yet, the abundance signal radiates outward with clarity. Students who tap into this often report noticing synchronicities, unexpected messages, new clients, sudden ideas, or connections that feel divinely timed. It's not coincidence. It's the outer world responding to their inner rise in wealth frequency. He likes to teach a simple embodiment practice. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and imagine your energy expanding a few inches beyond your skin. Then imagine it glowing with the feeling of, I have more than enough. This isn't wishful thinking, it's training the nervous system to hold high-frequency wealth. Over time, this shift becomes visceral. Their posture changes, decisions become more intentional, and their natural money magnet energy grows stronger, even if no one else can see the internal transformation happening. Abundance also feels like trust in timing, trust in self, trust in the unseen mechanics of the universe. When someone embodies this trust, their money flow becomes smoother. They stop sabotaging opportunities with doubt or overthinking. They start moving in harmony with what wants to happen. It's as if the field guides them step by step, nudging them toward expansion. This emotional alignment creates deep energetic coherence, making wealth feel like a natural extension of who they are. Many students describe abundance as relief, the feeling that they no longer have to carry the world alone. This doesn't mean passivity, it means partnership with the field. They begin noticing that their intuition sharpens, their creativity heightens, and their decisions become clearer. That's because abundance frees up mental space previously consumed by fear. In that newly opened space, energetic magnetism strengthens and subtly rewrites the person's internal identity. When someone finally senses abundance from within, not as fantasy, but as felt reality, their entire relationship with money transforms. And that new embodied feeling naturally pulls them toward the next stage, learning to raise and stabilize this wealth frequency through small, daily micro shifts that reshape the field from the inside out. He loves reminding his students that wealth isn't built in giant leaps but in tiny energetic upgrades repeated daily. These micro shifts are what strengthen the money field, reshaping the inner architecture that wealth responds to. Each subtle adjustment, how you breathe, how you speak to yourself, how you make small decisions, fine-tunes your wealth frequency. And because the field always moves before the physical world, these small internal shifts eventually snowball into visible, tangible change. He teaches that micro shifts work because they bypass resistance. Big changes often trigger fear, but small ones slide right into the nervous system without friction. A simple habit like pausing for one deep breath before making a money decision immediately increases energetic coherence. Another habit, writing down one financial win per day, expands your abundance energy. These tiny actions may seem insignificant, yet they recalibrate the entire energetic field of wealth far faster than people expect. One of his favorite practices is what he calls micro-alignment moments. For 10 seconds, you close your eyes, lengthen your spine, and imagine your field expanding just 1 inch beyond your skin. That inch is enough to activate vibrational alignment without overwhelming the system. Students who practice this report feeling clearer, more grounded, and more receptive to opportunities. Over time, that 1 inch becomes 2, then 5, then a sense of full-body money magnet energy. Another micro shift involves upgrading your inner dialogue. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, he teaches students to say, how can I generate the resources for this? That subtle shift breaks the spell of scarcity and strengthens your vibrational identity. Even something as small as organizing a drawer, paying a bill early, or reading a single page of a book like Atomic Habits reinforces the identity of someone who naturally attracts money. Every tiny action teaches the field who you are becoming. He also encourages micro-elevations in environment, lighting a candle before working, placing a plant near your desk, keeping your wallet tidy. These small upgrades create a physical reflection of high-frequency wealth, helping the body associate abundance with safety rather than stress. When the environment supports the energy, the financial attraction becomes smoother, more predictable. The field strengthens because the person feels supported, not overwhelmed. Even emotional shifts can be microscopic. Instead of forcing positivity, he suggests softening tension by just 5%. Relax the jaw. Drop the shoulders. Unclench the hands. These tiny somatic releases open the channel for money flow, allowing the field to expand without resistance. Students are often shocked at how much more energetic magnetism they feel after just a few seconds of micro-regulation. It's the small things that stabilize the big things. Micro shifts work because they create consistency, and consistency builds identity. And as that identity strengthens, something extraordinary begins to happen. The field becomes so stable, so aligned, so abundant in texture that money doesn't just respond, it starts seeking you out. And that transition into becoming a living, breathing magnet for wealth is exactly what begins unfolding in the next topic. He often says there's a moment in the journey when you stop trying to attract wealth and start embodying it. This shift is subtle but profound. Your field no longer wobbles with doubt or second-guessing, your entire being radiates the texture of abundance. The money field around you thickens, stabilizes, and becomes unmistakably magnetic. People feel it when you walk into a room. Opportunities seem to drift toward you without effort. The energetic field of wealth finally recognizes you as a match. He explains that becoming a living money magnet energy isn't about confidence or charisma, it's about energetic steadiness. When someone's identity, emotions, nervous system, and actions all resonate with the same wealth frequency, the field locks into alignment. This alignment sends a clear message to the universe: I can hold more. And the universe responds not with hesitation, but with precision. Not with delays, but with synchronicities. Wealth begins to orbit you the way planets orbit the sun. He loves using the example of a student who once told him, "I don't chase clients anymore, they find me." She wasn't bragging, she was describing the natural consequence of stable vibrational alignment. Her field had become coherent, grounded, and unmistakably abundant. Her voice changed. Her presence changed. Even her posture projected high-frequency wealth. People trusted her before she even spoke, because her energy broadcast safety, clarity, and expansion. A key marker of becoming a money magnet is the dissolving of internal resistance. Scarcity thoughts appear but no longer control behavior. Emotional waves arise but don't shake the signal. The abundance signal becomes stronger than the old patterns. And when resistance dissolves, actions become effortless. You ask for what you want without fear. You make decisions quickly. You hold boundaries with grace. This effortless confidence amplifies financial attraction far more than hustle ever could. He teaches that this state creates a gravitational pull. Your energetic magnetism becomes so strong that money doesn't just respond, it reorganizes itself around your field. New opportunities feel tailor-made. Unexpected invitations appear. People who once overlooked you now seek your guidance. This isn't coincidence, it's coherence. A coherent field bends reality the way gravity bends space. You don't overpower life, you collaborate with it. But what surprises students most is that becoming a money magnet doesn't feel hyped or intense. It feels calm. It feels grounded. It feels like standing in your own skin without apology. There's a quiet sense of inevitability, a knowing that wealth is part of your path, not a distant dream. Your actions feel natural, your intuition sharpens, and your money flow becomes both steady and expansive. This inner knowing is what the universe responds to with absolute clarity. And as someone steps fully into this magnetic identity, they begin noticing a deeper law at play, one that flips everything they've been taught about action and effort. Because once your field stabilizes at this level of abundance, the outer world starts reshaping itself after the vibration shifts, never before. And that truth opens the door to the final revelation waiting in the next topic. He loves to tell his students that the greatest misunderstanding about wealth is believing that action creates results. In truth, action only expresses the vibration that was already shaping reality behind the scenes. The physical world moves second. The money field moves first. When someone tries to force results through effort alone, they're pushing against a reality that hasn't aligned yet. But when the energetic field of wealth shifts, the physical world has no choice but to reorganize itself to match the new signal. He explains it like adjusting a thermostat. You don't heat the room by waving your arms around, you heat it by changing the internal setting. Your vibration is that setting. Once you raise your wealth frequency, opportunities, people, and financial pathways begin adjusting themselves automatically. It's not magic, it's consistency between inner state and outer reflection. Your vibrational identity becomes the blueprint that matter follows. Matter is obedient, but energy is commander. He often shares stories of students who spent years pushing with zero progress. They changed strategies, jobs, branding, pricing, everything except their frequency. And nothing shifted. But the moment they stabilized energetic coherence, results appeared almost absurdly fast. One student aligned her energy for 2 weeks and then received a promotion she'd chased for years. Another shifted her abundance tone and suddenly experienced a wave of financial attraction from unexpected clients. The field changed first. Action simply unlocked what was now available. He teaches that aligned action is effortless because it flows from an upgraded internal state. When someone is vibrating scarcity, even smart action produces friction. But when they embody high-frequency wealth, even small steps create momentum. A single message brings an opportunity. A simple idea attracts collaborators. A conversation leads to income. That's because their abundance signal is now broadcasting clearly enough for the physical world to respond with precision. He loves using the metaphor of planting. The soil, energy, determines whether the seed, action, grows. People who obsess over action without tending to the soil feel stuck, burnt out, or confused. But people who nurture their inner field, softening emotions, regulating the nervous system, embodying abundance, create fertile ground. Their actions become 10 times more potent. Their energetic magnetism turns ordinary behaviors into extraordinary outcomes. And they finally understand that energy is the real strategy. He emphasizes that this principle isn't passive, it's powerful. When the field is aligned, action becomes joyful, intuitive, and deeply effective. You stop trying to control outcomes and start collaborating with them. You move with life instead of against it. The money flow becomes reliable because it's rooted in who you are, not what you do. And that's when the physical world mirrors back abundance consistently, because it's responding to a dominant vibration that no longer wavers. And as students finally grasp that the field always precedes the form, something profound awakens inside them, a renewed sense of power, purpose, and possibility. They realize they're not victims of circumstance but architects of frequency. And from that place, the entire journey they've taken through these teachings prepares them for the moment when everything clicks into one coherent truth, one they're now ready to embody fully.